Hey, what's up? I wanted to show you quickly around and ask you this simple question. So, first, let me show you this beautiful place. We are at a place called Freedom Park, and it's somewhere in Charlotte, close to downtown. But really, I wanted to ask you, do you feel frustrated sometimes, especially about the progress that you expect that you should have made in life and where things are right now when you compare reality and what you would have wanted to see in your life? Do you get frustrated because of that gap? Because I do. I feel sometimes that I should have been farther, and yet when I think about it, how far I have come, I shouldn't. But there is a story that helps me to put things in perspective, and maybe this may be one that you needed to hear today. There is a story told of a small village in the middle of nowhere. This village was faced with a drought. The village was going through hard times of drought, and the local council, if you want to call it a local council, the group of elders of the village decided to put out a campaign for someone to provide water to the village. And those people, anyone who would provide water to the village, was going to be rewarded richly. It so happened that a distance from the village, quite a distance, there was a well. There was, in fact, more than just a well, a good body of clean water, just like you see the pond behind us right there. And one of the men, let's give him a name called Mark, came up with an idea to go to this water body and begin collecting jerrycans and jerrycans of water and bring them to the village. So he went out on his expedition, and he could bring with him 2 jerrycans of water. When he arrived in the small village, everyone was impressed by his courageous efforts to go the distance to bring the water, and he was rewarded handsomely. Mark was a smart guy. In fact, he decided that not only was he going to fetch water for only him by himself, he was to find 5 men, strong men in the village, go with him on this expedition to the water body and bring water to the village and be rewarded handsomely. So he did. He found a team of 5 of the best in the village, and they went on this expedition. After a few days, they returned with jerrycans of water, and guess what? They were rewarded handsomely. The village praised Mark for his courageous efforts and his boldness to solve a problem that the village was facing. But there was another guy whose name we are going to call Tim. Tim, on the other hand, from the time he heard about this campaign to reward anyone who would bring water to the village, he went out and investigated and carried out an investigation around the pond and tried to find a way to build a water line from this water body to the village. So while Mark was making the quick bucks, fetching water, bringing it to the village, and everyone being impressed, Tim was building a water line. Tim began building a water line. The first week went by. Mark was still making the big bucks. Mark had employed the 5 men. Mark was doing big. Mark was the real deal. But Tim took the slow route. He kept digging the water line. And after a couple of months, Tim had finally created a water line that connected the village that was in drought directly with the water line. Now guess what? Although Mark had the 5 of the best in the village, and he was continuing to build his team to more than 5. In fact, by now I think Mark had about 20 men. On the other hand, Tim had a water line supplying the village straight from the water body. All Tim had to do was to turn on the tap and the water would flow to the village. And guess what? After months and months of hard work, Tim was at the pinnacle of the cash cow of this project. Tim, in the end, became the hero of the story. Tim won the big bucks. As while Mark made the quick bucks, Tim and the big bucks. So I don't know where you are right now. Maybe what you're working on is taking longer than you had expected. But I want to tell you that no matter how long it takes, it's worth it to keep going after that which you know for sure is yours. I heard Steve Harvey say this recently, that when God puts an imagination in your mind, not everyone has to understand it, because if God wanted them to understand it for sure, He would have put that imagination in their minds. But God chose you. So go after that which He has put on your heart. Diligently go after it. And when time arrives, while others have been winning the quick bucks, I promise you this, you will win the big bucks. Whatever that means for you. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't be frustrated for the temporary wait. As the Bible says, it may linger, it may take a while, but it shall surely come to pass. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening as I enjoy the rest of my day here on this wonderful, as you can see, hideout. Peace and love. Goodbye.